Survivors we are, survivors we are. Are you ready for the journey? Clarence Karim is the name, yes indeed. Survivors we are.
Hi, Clarence Karim here. So over the last few days I've been doing various DIY works to my pool room to make it a bit more winter-proof. So sooner or later it's caught up with me and I'm feeling a little exhausted by it, and with all the moving up and down, bending and so on, my hernia's decided to pop up and veer its ugly head, and it's resonated into my back now, so my back's playing up the aches and pains and so on. So much so that I've decided, like I normally do, to arrange a masseuse to come and visit me from the massagepeople.com. So someone there came to see me last night. They relieved the tension in my back, and to be fair, I'm feeling a bit better, as they do great work without painkillers, I might add. And so we fall on today. I did feel a bit poorly and a little weak, but as usual, being positive and having a positive attitude, as it was a day that I have to drop my son off to his mum. Now, I've been doing this, as I've mentioned before, for about 15 years, good and bad days. But the heartbreak of it always hits me when I return home and the house is quiet and I'm alone and I'm missing my boy. But again, back to the main story. My journey began at the train station, or the tube as us Londoners like to call it. 25 minutes into town, the train's shaking as it normally does, and there's me sort of holding in my hernia, trying to keep it calm, and then swapping to another underground line, grabbing the handrail, trying to hold my gut in, a little bit like I'm carrying a baby, and taking the short walk to the next line. The station was packed out and I'm trying to hold it together, keeping it all in, and my son, as usual, keeping me distracted, cracking some jokes and being generally very cheeky. And the train itself was very busy and very packed, and once again I'm forced to walk down one of the carriages or cars to find a space to sit down, carefully brushing past a few people, very mindful of my pain, to find a seat, sitting down, getting up, sitting down, getting up. I mean, just the journey itself from those up, down, is very painful. And if you've got a hernia, and you know what I'm talking about, it's quite sore, quite raw. Anyway, we end up at the overground station where I have to walk a little bit to get to the correct platform, and we're going up the escalators, and my son, he's a bit clumsy from time to time, and he's decided to now go on the escalators backwards because he thinks it's going to be funny. Knocking the poor lady's suitcases over as we reach the top that's in front of him. And the lady turns around and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to bump into your son, really." And I've explained, "Look, don't worry, I apologise to her, I'm travelling with Mr. Bean here." And she's laughed it off, and for a moment there I was distracted from my pain, more concerned about the lady. Anyway, we finally arrive at the bus stop where my son continues his journey on his own. So we have a very tearful goodbye, as it's always very hard to say goodbye. We hug it out, and he leaves. I'm on my way back. I was faced with nowhere to sit this time round, despite using a walking stick and feeling very much in pain and tired, and also mentally exhausted from perhaps the sadness of saying goodbye. Bruised and battered, worn and tired, I finally get home. I grab a takeaway, and genuinely I tell myself, I miss him. I look forward to the next time I see him. Moments like this can make you feel, quite low. When you miss someone, or miss being near someone, or having lost relationships, or feeling like you've lost something, it's easy to feel shattered and lose hope. Like I've said, I've been doing this for 15 years and it's never got any easier. But it does show. When you really do care, you really do go the extra mile. And you can look back and be happy despite what obstacles may come your way. You're ready, fighting fit. you're a champion. A true champion. So be good, stay strong, be happy, and I'll see you again. Karim out.
Survivors we are.